So, round two
Round two.
being actually posted.
Yep.
We'll see. I'll go over it.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah. Robert Down, everyone. He works at Colliers International Realty in Vancouver as a senior vice president.
Yep.
And can you just explain like what you do on a daily basis here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it changes every day, but I guess my role here at Colliers is within the investment division, investment sort of capital markets, land. It's based on transacting and partnerships and relationships. I mean, within our I guess silo, sell land, put partnerships together, put joint ventures together, dispose of assets, and I mean IPP, that's income producing property or development land. Where I spend most of my time with partners that I have here is really on ground up development, be it be it new multifamily ground up, be it office ground up, and then I'd say probably 60-70% is there. The balance of it is working on existing assets, IPP primarily, some covered land, and that's kind of it on a daily basis. I mean, on a personal level, I get my day going every morning. I'm up quite early, sort of 5:30. I have to exercise in the morning, switch the brain on, and then I walk into work every morning. And then I'm here sort of 7:45, 8 o'clock, and away we go. It changes every day. Sometimes you're in the office all the time, and you don't step out. But being this is our first day in our new office, one of the very nice features I personally like is on the floor above us, we've got a giant outdoor patio, which is going to be awesome for everybody, but especially for me. I like to get out and get some fresh air.
You like to be grounded.
Very much so. It's nice just to kind of take that breath and get going. And then on other days, it's you're in meetings a lot. I guess within that investment sort of silo, most of my meetings I'd say would be within the core of downtown Vancouver, so it's quite easy. While I may not look like I'm dressed like a typical broker, I've got my Superman or my Batman suit upstairs that I can switch into pretty quickly. And away we go.
Superman suit right now, like this.
No.
This is what you take off.
This is the Clark Kent.
Okay, this is the Clark Kent.
The Superman is putting on the suit and tie and fancy shoes and belt and away we go. Yeah. So I mean, it changes every day. It's really hard to say what a typical day looks like. It's one of the reasons I love what I do. Every day is different. Every day you're talking to different people, and it's perfectly suited for me. I love talking to people, our business is really driven on relationships, fostering relationships, building those relationships, and having trust from clients with us to help transact, however that transaction looks, for whatever that project is. Yeah.
So you went to university.
I did.
You got a commerce
Yep.
degree. Would you say that you could do your job without that degree, or would it be necessary to get that degree?
It's funny. It's a great question. I think companies like ours, or any of the big sort of five, I guess, be it the Colliers, the CBREs, the JLLs, the Cushmans, the Avisons. I'd say those are probably the big five international. There's others, market dependent. The big five that are kind of global. They typically look for, some sort of undergrad degree like that with a, finance economics background. I did do a BCom. I did a BA as well. Yes, there's certainly underpinnings, absolutely. Having said all that, I think that, as I alluded to before, our business is really focused on people and relationships and understanding that. Obviously, you need to understand the business, but a lot of that can be taught. When I started, I had really no understanding of commercial real estate. And it was a huge learning curve. But with the right people in place, right mentors, right kind of tutelage, I think it's a teachable business. But that's really the mentor-mentee program is fundamental to being able to there's shops, brokerages, other organizations where and real estate, be it residential, be it commercial, you get a job, you get a desk, and here's your business card, and away you go. I don't think that's very. It's not a pragmatic way to help people, learn. One of the things I really like about Colliers is they do really put an emphasis on trying to sort of foster growth and foster learning from senior to junior.
It's about the people, right?
It's a pathways program, and I think I know that you and I both have a background in rugby, and so I can relate a lot to that. And it's really about bringing from young kind of grassroots, and then bringing them up through a pathway. I think that's very important, and this company's been amazing for that for me. But I look around and I'm pretty excited to see. Being in a new space, but also kind of where we can go from here. It's been a tough couple of years in the business through COVID. I mean, not just for us, for everybody, but through COVID. I think there's a really great opportunity now for us to bring up some amazing young talent that's in the office and sort of move them up to the next levels.
Nice. Are you so you've been mentored, I'm assuming, and then are you now doing the mentorship process? Like, are you a mentor to other people now?
I'd like to say yes. I've got a couple of younger guys and gals that work with us, and I'd like to think that I'm a big believer in giving back. Sometimes my methods may seem madness, but there is a method to it. I really believe that the strength of the organization, but I mean in this organization, in this business, it's really each one of us are kind of our own business. Yes, there's partnerships and all that other stuff, but kind of your own little silo.
Like a personal brand, right?
Exactly, within the large organization. But all that aside, I really believe that the strength in the overall organization is derived from how you bring the next generation up. So yes, to that point, I try to. I'm as open as possible. I try to give back as much as I possibly can. Share my experiences. I'll never say no to asking questions. And encourage questions to be asked. That's how you and I kind of got together as well. You reached out on our old school kind of website, and I think I got back quite quickly. And I'll always do that. I know some of the teachers from our school have asked me, will you speak? Always speak to anyone interested. I think it's important, not just for. I mean, even if young people are coming, just kind of trying to get a feel for the organization without any real intent of ever working here, I'll always try to, give my experience back and learn from my mistakes, or see where I've gone, the right way. I think that's very important.
So, kind of in that sheath of mentorship, there's also kind of a part about legacy. And you mentioned about passing things down. Do you have a legacy? Do you have a legacy? What is your legacy?
Oh, it's a good question. Within the company right now and within what I do, I mean, it's funny. Like for us as brokers, agents, whatever you want to call us. I think as soon as we remove ourselves from this business, for the most part, we become irrelevant because our business is so confounded on knowledge and information.
Yeah.
When you take yourself out of, the day-to-day and sort of boots on the ground, ear to the ground, you start losing that information, that knowledge that you can pass on to clients, developers, investors, institutions. You lose that because you're just not involved. I think it's hard to say what legacy I would have to leave within the organization. Having said that, I do believe that I guess on a personal level, I come to the office every single day. I've got a smile on my face. I make sure that everybody here is, feeling good. Back to that point, I do try to kind of give back to the younger kids. I think some people would probably call me the morale captain here. Like to make sure everyone's kind of got a smile on their face. I've had a lot of personal adversity myself over the past number of years, and through that, it's really formed, my person. I'm much better for it now, and I guess I could say that my legacy within here, and I plan on being here for a lot longer.
Yeah.
So maybe we can have this conversation later. But my legacy would be, I'm a smiling, happy face that I think everyone knows. I have an open door. I'm here to help whenever needed. Business, personal, whatever it may be. Let's come back to that question in 10 years.
Sounds good.
I'll let you know what my legacy is that I left.
All right. That's a long time to think.
It's a long time to think. On a personal note, and I think, it's tough to separate business. I think it's tough to separate business from person because, how you act personally does reflect on your business and vice versa. I got 2 young daughters, and my legacy, I come to work to do the best I can, to be the best version of myself. And I want that to be left for them so that they can see and be proud of what I've done and how I've achieved and how I've grown and how I've moved through this organization on the business side. And they can kind of say, yeah, that's my dad. He did real well. We're proud of him. He's done this. It's funny. They're young, they're 3 and 5, but like when I'm driving, my eldest and the youngest kind of, Dad, you sold that building, and that's by the end of it. This melts my heart and brings a smile to my face. But I kind of got a bit wayward there. But come back in 10 years.
10 years, sounds good.
Yeah.
So you said about adversity, and it kind of built your person.
Yeah.
Would you say, as anybody, but as a man, because that's all I can relate to.
Yeah.
Do you think you can completely build your own character through certain things that you go through, and not in a way of kind of psychology or happenstance, not how things unfold in your life, but the choices you choose? Would you say that you have total control over the outcome?
I think you do have total control. You have control over an outcome. That control comes from the actions that you take. And that's a simplified version of it. I think that adversity is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I think pain is necessary. And I think they're necessary because you don't really understand who you are. Or how you're going to react when put into those situations until they happen, and then how you react really shapes who you are.
Yeah.
Be it getting fired from a job, losing someone within your family, losing a friend, close friend, going through a divorce, going through bankruptcy, so on and so forth, getting kicked off of a team, not making a team, whatever. There's obviously levels of adversity and levels of pain, but how you react and how you show up after that, during that, shows, my opinion, who you actually are. Because watching someone get backed into a corner, that's when you see their real character.
Backs up against the wall.
That's when you see someone's real character. When they are afraid, and you put into a fight or flight, you really see what that person is made of. Because that's how they react. How they react is, that adversity is almost like it's almost like a magnifying glass into someone's character and their soul. They're either gonna, there's two doors. There's the good door and there's the bad door. You hope that no one goes down the bad door, but it forces someone to really come out of their shell and show everyone what they're made of. For me, I'm proud of how I've gone through that, and I think I personify growth through adversity. I really do believe that. And you just have to, it's about shifting your mindset, taking good out of bad situations. Because it's way too easy to sit there and, play the victim. It's way too easy. And, like, my life sucks because of this. I lost this job. I lost this deal. Like, well, why me? Why? That's just so easy.
Especially if you put yourself in that position.
Of course.
Like, if you're playing the victim after putting yourself there,
and it's it's really about taking accountability, owning up to whatever decisions you made. Because coming back to what you said, like, are you in control? You're in control of all the decisions you make. I'm in control of what I say on a phone call, what I say in a meeting. I'm in control of that. Part of going through that difficult kind of period, there's self-reflection that has to happen. And, when you're introspective of that, you can change your mindset away from that kind of like that victim. And it comes back to the legacy, I guess. It's all intertwined. Like, everything I do, personally, but business, that's why we're here. I think to myself, and I've got it written up in my office already. It says, do the right thing. So every action that I make, and you're still going to falter a bit, but every action I make, I try to stop and think, is this the right thing? How is it going to impact, for lack of anything else, my legacy? How is it going to impact what other people think of me, my clients, my friends, my family, most importantly, my daughters? So yeah, you are in control. But there are times that external forces, put you into a tailspin. And then it's, how do you react to that? How do you get back up? It's tough. Like, within this business, there's a lot of people in Vancouver that do what we do. A lot of people competing for the same business, same clients. It's tough when you spend weeks, months putting together a pitch, a project, and you're up against very capable brokers out there, agents out there. And when you lose, and you lose again, and you lose again, and it's like, that's tough.
Knocked down.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. But, it's how do you get back up, and how do you keep kind of brushing that dirt off and moving forward, in a positive way. It's easy to point fingers and say, well, it's not my fault. Well, it is. Like, so fix it. Like, how do you fix it?
Just break it down.
You break it down. It's one of the things that I really love about this business is that, for me, I get to work with everybody here. I think I've worked with most of the other brokers and agents in our office, and you learn a lot about other people's styles, learn what works for you, what doesn't work for you. But I really like, working on something, and when you win, you get to share in the wins. When you lose, you kind of get to commiserate, but also, okay, how do we fix that? How do we tweak that? How do we make sure that we're the best version? So the next time we go forward, next time we present, we're not going to make the same mistake.
So obviously it's a people-oriented job, and you have to understand like human interactions very well.
Yeah.
Assuming. So when you fail, is there any metrics behind it? Like, is there any measuring, or is it?
No, of course there's measuring. I mean, like, it depends on the project.
Yeah.
Of course.
What would be some that you would look at?
It's obviously it's competence around the project. For example, if you're pitching on a disposition of a development site, it's competence around the type of development. It's competence around geographic areas, competence around your overall team's strategy. It's your background, your track record. Obviously, your fee plays into that. How much you're charging? Are you worth what you're charging? In a market like this where it's pretty good, it's always competitive, but where it's even more so competitive because there's a real lack of deals getting done for a whole bunch of reasons. It's interest rate, it's construction cost, it's just volatility. People start paring their compensation down just to get into it. So it's challenging, but there's a whole bunch of KPIs that a client will look at when you're going after a project that you can measure yourself against.
Yeah.
I think it's really important. So one of the things that I always do when I lose out on business is I have to have a follow-up call and understand what those sort of measurements were that I didn't achieve, that I didn't hit, because they just go in the bank. And then you get to, okay, well, next time I didn't do this, and sometimes it's it's a bit of a beauty pageant. You're not going to win anyways. They've already picked it. But all things being equal, yeah, there are there's barometers of different measurements that you need to hit, and very often, if you're responding to a proper, if you've been invited to pitch on a project, and pitch on business, there will be sort of, there'll be a pathway and kind of, okay, we need you to focus on this, and this. Sometimes not, but there are indicators, and losing, coming back to finding the good from the bad, sometimes losing is more important.
You learn more from losing.
You learn way more from losing.
You just feel good when they.
Of course you do, but that comes. That will come if you're consistently developing yourself, and you're not giving up.
Yeah, and being willing to wait.
Consistency is so important, and patience is so important, because it will come. If you keep on doing the right thing over and over and over again, and you're disciplined about it, you don't put your head down. Obviously, it's natural for human emotion to get the better of you sometimes, but pick yourself back up. And you're consistently making yourself better, consistently learning from your mistakes, you'll get there.
Yeah.
It will happen.
Yeah. You can make it unreasonable to not succeed.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Do you ever read anything about like Stoicism?
About Stoicism?
Yeah. Do you read into it at all?
Yeah, the Stoics are, yes, not as much as I should. I kind of get bits and pieces. What do you have?
Well, I started reading Meditations.
Yeah.
On Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. It's some interesting takes.
Marcus Aurelius got some very interesting takes, and I tend to agree with a lot of what he has to say.
Yeah, I think it kind of wraps around to what you're saying about like your reaction.
Yeah.
Bad things can happen, but it's how you react to it.
Of course it is.
And, good things can happen. If you react indifferently between the good things and the bad things, they're just things.
Yeah.
They're not even you don't even have to really label them as much.
Yeah, Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, both.
You've read their stuff?
A bit. I think one of the things that I do, that I've started doing over the past couple of years, anytime I get something that I know I'm going to go back on and look at, I'll write it. I've got, I don't know, probably like 100 pages now of notes that I just make, even if it's just a little quote here or there, or if it's a full paragraph, I'll take a picture wherever, and I can't even think. And the Stoics have some very powerful thought, to say the least.
Definitely make you think.
Of course they do. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm loving that stuff for now.
Good.
I think, because it all comes back to controlling your mind. If you control your mind, you control your present, which is all you have.
Yeah.
And then you control the outcome. So.
Yeah. You have to have control over your mind, because that's always going to show up. Your mind's always going to be there. It's always going to, it knows everything about you.
Exactly.
And when you get control over that, you get emotional control, your agitation dissipates, and you can just sit there and take it.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. Very powerful in business, very powerful in personal. I think it's definitely a level up when you can control that, like when you can control your mind. And just do the right thing. It's a very simple kind of mantra, but every action, every thought, everything you sit there, is this the right decision? For me, it's about purpose. I have my purpose, and it's it's being the best male role model, best father I can to my children. And from a top-down approach there, it's, okay, how does that work in business? Well, it's be the best I can here so that I can provide for my girls, and I can, be a role model within, a hard work ethic for them. Then within personal life, it's, take control of yourself, take control of your body, your mind. Again, it's about role models. And, it's, my own personal choices, what I eat, what I drink, what I don't drink, what I don't eat, so that purpose is there. And then it's every action, everything is thinking back, do the right thing. Okay, well, should I be doing this? Should I be saying this? Should I do, if it's yes, okay. Would I be proud if they knew what I was doing? No, don't do it. It becomes very simple.
Yeah.
It becomes very simple. Life becomes very simple.
Do you get that kind of thought process before everything?
So as it relates to work, yeah, absolutely. It's easy to kind of chase stuff or do things that, maybe your moral compass, ethical kind of ways are wayward. Stop and think, do I want to do this? Maybe there's an easy monetary gain, but would I feel good about doing it?
Yeah.
Do I feel... So almost everything I did, look, I'm human. I'm going to have slip-ups. Everyone. If we were robots and there's slip-ups, then you've got a problem. But we're not. We're human, so we make mistakes.
Yeah.
Humans make mistakes.
Designed to, and to learn about them.
And just learn. And you got to mitigate those mistakes. And so I think you just got to slow down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I truly try to take a step back. Everything that I do, I mean, you don't have to get so granular. Is walking this way better than walking? No, but it's about choices, life choices, and they have ripple effects throughout everything. I mean, talking about work and talking about college, like what I do outside of work is my own personal time.
Mm-hmm.
However, how you're viewed outside of work does have a direct correlation to what you are, who you are, your brand within work.
Yeah.
I know that because I've been doing it for a very long time, people see me walking everywhere. People, I go to lunch, I don't drink. People, like, it kind of creates a brand.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be aware about that.
You can't be living two lives.
You can't, because it's like...
It's easier to not. It's easier.
You spin a web and, like, you're going to get caught somewhere. But it's also, within commercial real estate, we're charged with people, companies, entities, very valuable assets. I don't believe that they are overly keen on entrusting those assets, those decisions with people that make poor life decisions. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that. So I think, look, again, it comes back to people do make mistakes. But how do you get up from those mistakes? How do you move forward? I think people are deserving of second chances, maybe not third and fourth and fifth, but yeah.
For everyone watching,
yeah,
if there's a goal that you would want to set for them to accomplish by the end of 2024, what would that be? Maybe on a personal level, or?
So in 12 months.
12 months. It's not a long time.
No, it's not a long time. It's not a long time, but I think what I've learned is I think you have to live, the most important thing you have to do is live in the present. I think people get too overly concerned with living in the future. I think people get too overly concerned with what people think about them, and what people are saying about them. Just stop caring, focus on yourself, and live in the present. Because for me, there's a ton that you can project into the future and they go, God, like I got to do this and this and this. Like, does that matter, like right now? No, it doesn't. I got a roof over my head, I got food to eat, I got good people around me, I'm taking care of myself. Am I okay right now? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I think and then within that, it's being present for the people that you show up for. Mm-hmm. And so living in the present, very, very important. But over a 12-month period, I think it's looking at your lifestyle. And so for me here, okay, let me go back. Here's what I do. Remove yourself from any toxic environment. That's what I do. And it's going to take some time, because change in environment is the hardest thing anyone can do. Mm-hmm. It is the hardest thing, be it a job, be it a relationship, whatever it may be. If it's toxic to you, and if it, some people are like, it's bad, but it's not that bad. It sucks changing your environment. It is not easy. It's difficult because it's the unknown. People are afraid of the unknown. If it is not good for you, and if it is impacting your mental health, your physical health, pull the chute and get out. It is so difficult. But I guarantee you, if you can do that, and it's going to take some time, okay? I would suggest that you keep a tight circle of, mentors, mentee, kind of like influential people around you, because you're going to need some help if it's a big shift, if it's a big change, and you're going to need some support. Get yourself out of a toxic environment and make a change. You have to do it, because life is way too short to just stay stuck. It will change you. It changes everything. A change in environment, 2024. If there's something to do, if there's a job that you really want and you're just afraid to take a chance because you're kind of comfortable in your own job right now, if it's getting into real estate and you're like, oh, well, you know, like I got to do this and you're commission based and I don't know, like pick up a phone people like myself, phone other, you know, just go and try and learn a bit. If it's
you're only so many no's away from a yes, right?
Of course. You know, if it's a team that you want to get onto, like, but you're stuck over here and you need to kind of like, your environment is going out and, you know, getting like blackout with your friends every Friday. So like, remove yourself from those friends. If it's a relationship that's not great, and that could be a business relationship, a personal relationship, if it's not great, but it's okay. You're kind of complacent in it. Like, just rip the cord because life is short. Life is very short.
I'm 18 and I'm starting to think like
life is very short.
These are going fast.
You know, it's funny, like, and I guess this comes back to one of the very first things, like, there's stuff that I'd like, I don't have any regrets. There's things that maybe I'd tweak a bit differently, but I'm really happy with who I am today. I'm very happy with who I am today and where I'm going.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. But it's taken 39 years to get there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not the same person I was a year ago, 2 years, 5 years, and I certainly won't be the same person in 5 years as I am today.
Yeah.
But I think I challenge anyone that wants to, you know, make a change positively for their life. Look at your environment and change it. If it needs to be changed, change it. I personally, like, that's been a big thing. It's made me a better person, infinitely better person on every level. As a colleague, as a son, as a partner, as a father, without a doubt.
Removing toxic situations.
Toxicity is like, you know, like environmental toxicity is different. Raises your cortisol level, you know, puts you under immense stress. Like it's insane what it does to you.
Yeah.
You can't be the best version of yourself until you take control of yourself. And when you're not that best version, you're actually doing a disservice to those other people that you're trying to help and provide for.
Yeah.
Because you're one cut away from total breakdown. And it becomes death by 1,000 cuts. You're just kind of surviving. It's not bad enough now, but you continue down that road, it will be bad enough. It will. And when you're at that point, it's too late.
Yeah. So, being in a toxic environment, what would be the, I guess, red flags? What would be the red flags?
I think it's different for everybody.
Different for
I think it's different for everybody.
Okay.
You know, I try to wake up. I mean, every morning I wake up, and you know, I just kind of make a mental habit of just smiling. It sounds silly, but honestly, just a smile, and just kind of feet on the ground. Okay, here we go. For me, it's about getting those real good, healthy habits in place.
Mm-hmm.
Those habits turn to consistency. The consistency and discipline kind of all come together, and it's just that's how you live. And it's good, healthy choices. It's walking to the office. It's doing the laps around the office, making everyone's here. Kind of okay. Then it's going through like what's on my calendar, blah blah blah. I didn't have that before. Part of it was mindset, but I didn't have that before because I wasn't happy. I couldn't put a smile on my face. I think it's.
Did you feel less in control then?
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah, I mean, personal control for sure, but I think it's different for everybody. But you'll know. You'll know.
You'll know.
If you're telling, I think a lot of it comes back to that. If you're asking yourself the why me, why is this happening to me all the time? Take a look around at your environments, your how you exist, and where is it toxic for you?
Yeah.
Because there's going to be somewhere toxic. If you're saying to yourself, why me? I think that's a good flag. If you're living in that kind of like, why me? Like, why is life happening to me this way? Why am I not advancing in my career? Why am I not finding a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, whatever? Why am I not making that team? Why am I not losing weight? Like any of that stuff, if you're asking yourself all the time, like look at your environment, that's my red flag. Look at your environment.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. This is liquid gold. So ask why. Ask why. That's it.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
It is.
I think people, life is hard. Like, don't get me wrong, but it needs to be hard.
Yeah.
People.
A good sailor never came from easy seas.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. You never find out who you really are until you've basically had everything taken from you. But then when you get to that point when it's all stripped away and you're left with nothing, like how do you react? How do you go forward? How do you move forward? Do you just throw your hands up and say, forget it, I'm done? No, you can't. You can't. So it's about showing up, and then like it's for me. I mean, I say this, but you know, it sounds repetitive because this is kind of what I bring into my life. But it's about consistency and discipline, and doing the right thing. I think if I can add one more thing in 2024, you know, check your environment. If you need to remove yourself from something, do it. I think the other thing is find a purpose. Find a purpose. And that's not easy. That's not just like one day being like, oh, my purpose is to be, you know, the strongest man. Like, no, like find a purpose, because when you find a purpose, your life kind of directs you, and like a real one. And it's not going to happen overnight. You know, like I kind of alluded to my purpose, but my children were already born, and I still didn't, that purpose wasn't there for me yet. Like it took a lot of things kind of happening, a lot of moving parts, and then it was formulated through adversity, through growth, and then it was like, I understood. It was through challenge that my purpose kind of came forward. But when you find purpose, honestly, like it's easy because it's just, you know, like every step you know where you're going. You know where you're going because your purpose doesn't allow you to make the wrong choice. It doesn't. If you have a clear direction and if you know what you're trying to achieve, your purpose does not allow you to make bad decisions. You might have like some little hiccups, but like, say I'm, you know, whatever, like you're gonna be the healthiest person in the entire world because of X, Y, and Z, and that's my purpose, and you have a couple glasses of wine, like, irrelevant. But general parameters, you get that purpose kind of dictates your discipline, your consistency, and all that other stuff. You're not gonna make, you just won't make bad decisions if you're dedicated to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And for me, mine, my purpose is to be the best father, the best male role model I can possibly be for my two daughters.
Yeah.
Within that, you know, I've got my business, I've got my personal, I've got my physical, all my own silos, and so like they all kind of intertwine. Like business, like I said, it's about providing for them, it's about showing them, you know, hard work gets ABC. So it's about showing up at the office. Like my daughters love coming to the office and seeing where I work and understanding that, you know, their dad has a job, their dad, you know, these are their dad's colleagues. They, you know, like, you know, physically, like they know that, you know, that I work hard. Like I'll work hard in the gym, I work hard, you know, running, swimming, whatever. Like it's about physical. You know, mentally, I don't. You can ask them. If you ask my daughters, does dad ever raise his voice? They will say, absolutely not. Dad never yells. It's about setting examples and role models. A little bit more than that, but that's kind of, at a granular level, and everything comes back to am I going to get in would I drink and get into a car and drive? Never. Don't drink, but all of this kind of filters down. Would I advise someone on a phone call, a client, don't worry about that. We can work through this. Maybe a bit more kind of, something that other people might question as ethically on the line. No, never, because that's just not how I want to.
Yeah,
it's not how I want to, proceed and live, because it doesn't fulfill the purpose.
Yeah. Not sure if I found my purpose.
It took me 38 years.
About a couple of years till that.
Yeah, mine couldn't have happened. Maybe it would be different, but it's, it's also I said this last time, being, comfortable being uncomfortable. I've had extremely uncomfortable in a whole bunch of manners, but I'm more comfortable and happier than I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
When you get to that point, don't take that from you. And you become real dangerous. You become really dangerous.
When even if you have stuff to lose, but if you know that if you lost it, you can get it all back.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
And that's from a financial point of view. You always hear about poor people can never make money. They don't know how to make money. They have financial illiteracy. But then you see the people who have built wealth before, they can always get it back. And it's the same. Building wealth is just skills and knowledge, right? And it's the same for personal growth. If you've been in a good place before, it's easier to get back there.
Yeah, I think if you're trying to pursue, this is just me personally. I think if you're trying to pursue any endeavor, the first thing you have to do is look at yourself. You have to really be comfortable with yourself and love yourself, and then you can once you're good, inside, then you can go and do anything. When you're comfortable with yourself and you're not afraid of judgment, afraid of any of that, when you can say, yes, I said that, yes, I did that, and you can take full accountability for everything you do, you become very dangerous. Because so many people are afraid of the skeletons in their closet, about being exposed. You fully expose yourself and you just put yourself out there and you don't care.
No one can hurt you.
No one can hurt you.
You're not hiding.
Yeah, I did that. Yes, I said that. Yes, I've done that. Who cares?
I'm not paying any mind to it. Why are you?
Yeah, so...
You got your own life.
Yeah. Small minds talk about people.
I think about that. I think about that a lot.
Yeah, small minds talk about people. So look, I know we've kind of glossed over commercial real estate, but I think everything that I've said, it has pertinency to it. For me, I love this industry. I love this company more than anything. They've done a lot for me. They've stood by me. They've helped me. I've moved within the organization. I've moved within countries. I love what I do and where I am. And I'm really, really excited for, obviously we're in a new office now, but it's kind of today it's kind of like a new chapter, new season. I'm really excited. And then externally outside of this, I think 2024 is going to be a good year. I really believe that.
Market-wise, or why is it going to be a good year?
I think market-wise, it's, we faced a lot of headwinds. Feel that those winds are changing and shifting a little bit. It's, I don't know how else to say it. It's just, yes, within, fundamental economics. I believe that there's forward progress, but I just think that it's going to be a good year. Just remove yourself from a terrible environment and do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Yeah. There you go.
That's right. Yeah. For me, it's been crazy.
I mean, you got a big year.
I got a big move.
You're moving to the UK and then you move to New Zealand.
Yeah. 4 months. 3 months in the UK, 4 months in New Zealand.
That's awesome, man.
I'll take it a step at a time from there. I
And
don't know.
then what's after New Zealand?
So it depends how well I perform.
That's
perform
fantastic.
well.
Yeah.
If I perform well, maybe I'll
And you
stay.
stay down there. It's a pretty special country. You're gonna love it down there.
Yeah.
Mind you, Scotland's a pretty special country too.
Yeah. It's rainy, but
Yeah,
that doesn't bother me.
You know
It's
what? We
weather.
get a lot of it here.
It's weather.
We get a lot of it here. Yeah.
Weather's weather's just weather.
That's all it is, man. Rain, sun, who cares? It's about how you deal with it. And I love the rain. I love the snow. I love it all. And just be happy
It's all
with
part of
yourself.
life.
Just be happy with yourself.
Highs and lows. You gotta be happy with the highs. and lows.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Where did you end up parking?
I went to the convention.
You did just across the street.
Yeah, just a couple blocks down there.
Yeah, I don't. I know that we've got a parking lot underneath here. I don't.
You're new to it.
I'm new to it and I walk in, so it doesn't. If I need my car, I'll just we've got an early meeting and the meeting's further away.
Yeah.
Either just jump in a ride with one of the other boys, girls, or just drive in the park.
Do you look pretty in your back?
About a half-hour walk. So it's 30-minute walk in, back.
You do it
It's
every day?
every day,
You
man.
walk every day?
Every day. Rain doesn't matter. I like it when it's raining. Still got to figure out the gym and kind of like the shower areas, because when you come in, it's like you come in and it feels like you just jumped out of the lake and you're dripping wet. Everyone else not too keen on walking behind you, but I think there's some decent change facilities downstairs. That's all I need. Like I said, I got the Superman suit upstairs, and away we go.
You leave that upstairs.
Leave it upstairs, yeah. These offices don't have any hooks, so I've after this going on, and on Friday packed everything into my truck, and it's just sitting in the back of my truck. And after this, I've got to go and get my truck, bring it back, unload everything, and I need to go get some of those little hook things to smash them on the wall and hang the suits, and away we go.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's.
So you have 2 floors here?
Yeah, so we have, this is the 11th and the 12th, and then we have in a building like half a block away, we have another 2 floors, but this is the brokerage. We've got brokerage on this floor. There's office and industrial, and then upstairs we have, and retail and the Vancouver hotel, and then upstairs we have investment. I set up investment, and we have strategy and consulting and valuation, and then the other building, property management, conveyancing. It's taken us a long time to get here. We were in our last building for 44 years.
Yeah.
Since the building was actually built.
This is a much newer building or something?
Yeah, it is much newer. It's 20 years old. 19. It's fantastic. I mean, it's really a block and a half away, but
It's a different view.
The view is a little bit different, a bit closer to Stanley Park and kind of a bit more, projected out onto the water. But look, it's, I mean, we talk about environments. Like this is a beautiful environment, and the physical space has a lot to do with how you can kind of get yourself together. This is going to help, I think, a lot. It's very bright, open. Now everyone's just got to do what they got to do.
Yeah. Do the right thing.
Yeah. There you go.
Sweet.
Okay.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, and best of luck in Scotland and New Zealand, and please keep me posted.
I will.
I'm looking forward to tracking progress, and then when you're back, and no doubt you will be, do it again. We'll see what's changed. See if
10 years
see if I'm throwing my hands up and said, forget it. Everything I said.
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I doubt
it won't happen. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Ian.